In the new Fortnite update, there is secret dialogue with Era and Triarch Nox. The apparatus is charged and has glowing cube glyphs around the apparatus, and new dialogue for Dr. Sloan, and a lot more. So let's get into it. Let's start with the snapshot quests. We work with Sloan, helping her work on the apparatus, starting with getting blueprints that belong to Rift Warden Stellian. Finally, some talk about old characters we learned about, and we have to go through a maze to find it. Once we do, we bring the schematics to Sloan's computer at the Citadel. We then learn from Sloan. Stellian did not figure out how to refine kinetic ore, but using his research, she was able to ping more kinetic ore and send us to collect it at a gas station, Shady Splits, and Rumble Ruins. Once we complete that, we return to Sloan and she tells us to bring it to the apparatus. Because the luminaries will be reacting cautiously if she gets near. Once we're there, we place a piece of kinetic ore down. And if you notice, the apparatus has glowing cube of glyphs around it. More on that in a bit. We then just hit her terminal and she thanks us for helping her. But there's one audio log I want to talk about because there's new audio logs. One of her audio logs mentioned the Eclipse is the key.
Analysis continues on the incoming signal. It's not a natural cosmic phenomenon, and it's coming our way with intent. There's no way the people who left this place could have known about this eons ago. Unless it's happened before. The Eclipse is the key. It has to be.
And I think I know what she means. A new Triarch has been teased. Last season, we were introduced to Triarch Nox with a new update using the skin. While talking to Era, she says, "I know you're hiding from Triarch Aurora, but even you cannot stop the dawn." Which shout out to Mr. J.I. for finding this. I think this has something to do with the Eclipse Dr. Sloan mentions.
The Eclipse is the key.
And at Rumble Ruins, we see a new description of the apparatus focusing on a stage of an orb moving, and another showing some entity and around it different orbs. And recently there are teasers of a moon going to YouTubers with a note that says, "Thank you for adding to my collection," from Koji Datura. So what does it all mean? Well, I believe that the Eclipse is going to be controlled by both Triarch Nox and Aurora to cause an eclipse, but they bring the Ice Moon causing the eclipse. The Ice King might return for this reason. Like I mentioned before with the real life teasers of the next season, there is a note that says, "Thank you for adding to my collection, Koji Datura." And one of the eclipses we get in the real world is a lunar eclipse with the sun and moon. And in the Fortnite Zero War comics, the Ice King used to collect dangerous artifacts and creatures like the monster in Season 9 to protect the Omniverse. And he says that he had another name, but the Ice King works, and it is how he is known. It's only when the prisoner, aka the Fire King, betrays him and tries to bring chaos, the Ice King defeats him. He says in the comics, "I had to freeze him, my other knights, and all we acquired." Then he goes to an eternal sleep to protect the Omniverse from themselves. You might be wondering why I bring this up. Well, the new Fortnite Crew Pack loading screen, we see a shadow of another character that could be another Triarch, but we don't know. But why am I bringing this up as well? Well, I think that might be the elementals, like the Ice King and the prisoner, aka the Fire King. Nox is an elemental of darkness, Aurora is an elemental of light, or maybe even gold. In this new shadowy figure could be some elemental around shadows, or lightning something. Or maybe even light and dark in between both Nox and Aurora. Quick editing note, this next part I'm mentioning about the Triarch's names. Mr. J.O.Y. theorized this, and I forgot to mention it in the script. I'm not taking his credit, so I mentioned their names by bringing my own theorizing of how they might be elementals, just like the Ice King and Fire King. But I didn't want to take Mr. J.O.Y.'s credit for bringing up Greek mythology with their names. Greek or Roman, I can't remember. So, there you go, Mr. J.O.Y., and check him out. His channel is linked in the description. But I don't know, but the reason I think this is because in Greek mythology, their names mean something, like Nox means darkness/night, and Aurora means light, which to me leads to them to have some powers relating to that, like an elemental. Now Ice King could return to help us stop them and learn more about the island and the dangers ahead. Now you might be wondering what the cube's glyphs might be surrounding the apparatus. If you didn't know, this jungle reality's people worshipped the last reality. The biggest proof for me is that the first ever snapshot quest brings up something known as the cube catastrophe. And once we collect it, what do we turn into? Oro or Aurelia. And what are their sets' name? Midas Revenge. And Midas has elemental power of gold. Maybe from Aurora? If she doesn't just mean light, maybe gold. So, I feel like next season might bring up elementals in the next season. But the Ice King's return, new Triarch, heck, maybe even Midas. At this point, it's a joke of him returning. But, hey, that's my own personal theory. My name's BB18 Gaming. See you all in the next one. Peace.